Hello, friends. Welcome back. This is your host, Angie, for From Religion to Woohoo. And I'm coming with you with an intuitive hit and message I got this morning in my meditation. Is actually an interpretation of a dream I had last week. I will just say that, I'm definitely in a moment of purging and releasing and growing. And those times do not always feel good. I'm just, gonna say that up front. But what they do is, they produce new fruit. So when you move away from the old ways of doing something, you can produce a new way. And it's hard because it's like retraining something. But when you retrain, it requires consistency and allowing or doing something over and over. So real quick, for those of you that have not been following me up until now, like I said, my name is Angie, and I am an author, and I have a book called Leaf Lessons: When Trauma and Religion Collide, the Process of Spiritual Awakening and Healing, and you can find that on Amazon, and I'm hoping it will be in Barnes & Noble soon. I've been trying to work with them, but it's been hard. Anyways, I also do holistic healing, Reiki, sound healing, mindfulness and meditation, and life coach. And I have a 6-phase course that is going to be starting here in next week, actually, on the 12th, and August 12th of 2020. If you're listening to this another time, I know that sometimes I listen to other people's podcasts and they're from a year ago, but they're still really good and relevant for right now. I think that the universe always leads to you to what you need to be exposed to in the right moment. So it could be a year from now. Anyways, all of that, I share that just because, I'm really passionate about helping people to come into their truth, to come into their authentic purpose, to kind of allow their energies to align up with their higher self and increase their ability to hear the intuition and to really embody the essence of who they are, as a spirit. And when you begin to do that, just like I was saying, you release the old and step into the new. There's a purging and a releasing to get into that place, because you can't always take the old with you into the new. And I believe I had talked about that in my last podcast a little bit. Anyways, so getting back to this dream, as I'm in my own purging process, I had a dream last week. I don't know, I'm still kind of in it, but last week was just rough, real rough for me, emotional, and what's funny is I usually just allow myself to work out these emotions. I'll go and meditate, or I'll do, I'll scream, or I'll go hiking, or I'll do something to get all this energy out. But for some reason, I wasn't releasing it. I was just holding it in. It was almost like something was, my old mindset, my old programming, my old I'm not good enough was coming up, and I was holding on to it. My ego was stepping in, in front of my spirit and, talking to me and telling me, who do you think you are? Why are you, why'd you do this? Well, anyways. So, I had this dream last week, and I won't tell you the entire thing, but it popped up in my meditation this morning. And in the dream, I was walking up a path to somebody's house, and for some reason, I freaked out. And this path, it was like a trail you would find in the woods, a hiking trail. So it was dirt, and along the side of it was a fence. There was no trees around it. It was just a whole bunch of like native grass and flowers. It was just really beautiful. And so I'm walking down this path, and the grass is like up to my like waist, you know. And I freak out about going to this person's house, and I lay down on the ground, and I stick my feet up on the fence beside me. Like I'm scrunched down like a little child, and with my feet up on the fence, like laying with my back on the ground. And I'm like hiding. And I look up, and on the fence, I see two things. The first thing I see is this little tiny doll head. And it was like a pinkish color, and it was like a eraser. It was like the size of a tiny eraser, like one that you would stick on the end of your pencil, but it was a doll head. And it may have even been an eraser. And it was like on like a part of the fence that was like splendid off or whatever. So it was sticking on the end of this, and it was spinning. Like it was just spinning in a circle on this thing. And it really disturbed me when I saw it. Like I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God, that's scary. Like this little head spinning on this fence post thing. And so I remember I watched it really confused. Like, why am I seeing this little tiny head? And then right above the head, I look up, and there is a note that is stapled to the post. And if I remember correctly, like the note said something that gave me a lot of peace. It said something like, it will be okay, or, you know, just like a calming, like, reminder, basically. And I remember kind of taking a deep breath and letting go of the fear of the little head. And even as I said that now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get it now. Last week I was like trying to interpret it. I did, like I was able to interpret it some, but I think I really got the message this morning. And when I got this message, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to share this. This is so good. So I won't share the rest of the dream with you because it goes into a lot of other things. But I just heard in my spirit, and according from last week, what I got as well, like this is what this means. So last week when I looked up, it meant like that I had some underlying fears or healing that I had not addressed in my life, like things I was hiding from. So that's why I was hiding down in between the grass and like a little kid would, you know, hide from a parent when they're in trouble or something. And so I was hiding from myself, basically, these things hidden deep inside of me that are yet to be exposed and healed. And because not everything is easy to face and to let go, because, you know, sometimes healing hurts just as much as the events, you know, but the difference is when you go through it in your healing process, you actually release it from your body and your mind. It does not control you anymore. So that's what I got from it last week. However, this morning, what I heard is that the head came right back into my meditation. It took a while for me to drop into my meditation this morning, but I saw the little head spinning again. And then I looked above and I saw the note that said, it will be okay. And it just clicked. I realized that little head represented me. That my constant striving, my constant overthinking, my constant anxiety and trying to control and fix and be and do and just everything, like I was literally spinning my own head. I was causing my own anxiety. I was causing my own fears. I was causing my own, you know, freak out or anxiety. I, in my head, somehow have gotten in my little ego head and allowed myself to begin to ruminate and spin around these thoughts. And these thoughts have toxic energy in them. And because I was not releasing it and I was just spinning it, just holding it in my head and spinning it over and over and over and over and over, I was convincing my body, my brain, and my mind that that was my truth. Even though my spirit, my intuition was telling me this is not you, this is not right, this, let it go, let it go, let it go. And so the note above it saying it will be okay, clearly when it gave me peace in the dream, that's exactly what it was supposed to do. Because when you go above these things, when you look above them, when you connect with your higher self, when you connect back into your consciousness, your intuition, your truth, it is okay. Because in that place, you don't have to control. You don't have to spin your mind and your thoughts and your efforts to be or fix or do anything. You just allow. You align yourself with your higher self, with your spirit, your intuition, and you allow. Just like the lesson of the leaf I wrote in my book, Leaf Lessons. Allowing, releasing the control of outcomes and releasing the control of what is coming, what is happening in the moment does not reflect you as a divine being, spirit, human. And it does not reflect how the future will look either. Because our thoughts, our words, how we see and we do things manifest the future. So instead of staying in that place of the little head and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and trying to fix and trying to control and trying to find a way out or trying to, hide, I was creating the toxic energy in myself. Even now, as I speak this, I can feel a shift in my energy, like releasing. And so when we get into this place, instead of continuing to focus on the head, the spinning of our thoughts, the spinning of what is happening in the now, in the moment, take your awareness just slightly above it. Like this note wasn't like up the post along, it was just right above it. And it just said, it will be okay. And when you get into that place, you can release all of those thoughts, all of that worry, all that anxiety, all the control, all the manipulation, all the fears, all the lower vibrational energies that hold us in this moment of being stuck. Because the reality of it is when you look above, as above, so below, you can manifest what it is that is meant to be in your next step. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen automatically. That means that the universe or God or whatever you want to call it is going to align with you and move that moment as you step forward, because there is an act of moving yourself as you step forward in trust and blind trust. I think about how there's a story in the Bible about Peter coming off the boat and walking on the water. I don't know if that really happened. If it did, whatever. It could be an amazing metaphor. However, there's a trusting in that next moment that he would be carried and held without the need to control. When you release the control, when you release the need to fix and to see the circumstances around you, that is when you begin to walk forward and you trust the universe to carry you. You trust the water underneath you to move forward. That story or metaphor of walking on the water towards Jesus is our example of walking forward towards our purpose, towards our calling, towards our trust in the universe, towards trust in the divine beings that are holding all things together, the divine energy, whatever you want to call it. I do believe there's a man named Jesus that walked the earth that was an amazing example to us, and he likely gave many scenarios like this to those people to teach them to let go and to release, and it will be okay. And that was the message that Jesus said to him when Peter, when he started to drown, he reached out and he said, where's your faith? And that is where we need to go, into that understanding that it is being in our truth, in our authentic self, in our higher power, that we can also walk into the circumstances that seem impossible. If we are called there, we will make it through. If we're not, then the universe is not going to align it for us. However, what we speak out, what we believe, what we know to be true in our spirit will make a way. And whatever comes up in your intuition that you feel you're led to, don't question it. Don't let that head start spinning around and keep you stuck because of fear or of anxiety or what people think or what might happen. Because if you look just above that, there's a message that says it will be okay. And that okay message goes directly into our ego to remind the body, our mind, to calm down and to step back into your truth, into your spirit, and be divinely led and guided. Because the reality of it is, I know a lot of people do not believe that the same that I do, but reality is we were spirit before we came here. We chose to live this life on earth, to learn these lessons, because when we go back into the spirit realm, we will take these lessons with us. Just like my dad was explaining to me when he came back to talk to me in spirit. He explained to me the actions and the words you speak, as below or as above, so below, you can manifest anything you want, is what he said to me. And then he also explained to me the process of purging and forgiveness and moving into higher powers and realms in the spiritual side. So each time we prune and we let go, we are actually building our spirit into a higher frequency, and that allows our ego to begin to calm down and decrease the need to control. So when we allow ourselves to align with this energy, release the spinning head, move into our authentic selves, that is when things fall together. That is when we can see the progress and we can begin to see the manifestations and the desires that are already placed inside of us to move forward. So if you're in a moment of spinning head, if you got a little tiny spinny head right now, just look right above it and you will see a note that says it is okay, because it really is. You control the next step. You control your mind. You control. It's not a control of striving and fixing. It's not that kind of control. I'm talking about being still and quiet, what Jesus taught. Be still and know. Calm yourself down. Calm your mind down and get in touch with what is inside of you, your spirit, your intuition. And that is what will control the mind. That is what will help the mind to calm. It's not about using your mind and your ego self to strive to calm it down. You cannot calm down anxiety with anxiety. You cannot calm down control with control. You can't. You have to let it go. And this is a hard thing to do. So, as I said before, I have this 6 weeks course coming in August 12th. If you are struggling in any of the ways with any of these things, we will be addressing this in this course. And I invite you to come and be present with us to learn the process of releasing and letting go, getting in touch with your intuition and spirit, and aligning with your higher self so that you can move forward in your soul divine purpose. Because that is why you are here. Every single one of us. Okay? Okay. That was a really deep message. So I think I'm going to go and spend some time meditating on it. So I encourage you if you need to. Anyways, I really hope you're all doing well. Like I said, just jump on my website, leaflessons.org, and join that course if you desire. I will be doing it again in the future. However, the price will go up. Just going to give you a bit of warning on that. So, okay. I wish you guys all the love of the universe. I send it to you. I send healing energy to you to calm your spinning heads. And I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is that you listen to this. Namaste.